Hi, I'm a middle school math teacher, and our school district has used MAP assessments for the past 2 years. I'm going to share how I rely on MAP to meet my students' instructional needs. MAP now includes a learning continuum report that's a great tool for setting goals with my students and differentiating my instruction. It's an interactive report with two views, the class view and the test view. I can access them both when I log into MAP and open the View Reports and Instructional Resources section. The class view is specific to my students, while the test view is a general look at the test subject. I like to start with the class view because it gives meaning to my students' RIT scores. When I click my class and test, and then expand an area within the test, I see specific skills and concepts matched with the RIT bands where my students are performing. These learning statements summarize what my students are ready to work on, as determined by the MAP assessment. For example, at the top is the lowest RIT band. One student falls in this band as shown by the student score for this goal area. In contrast, the overall RIT score applies to the entire test. Based on how the student scored, I can use these skills and concepts to help my students set specific learning goals. Of course, students can't tackle all skills and concepts at once, so we break them into short-term goals. In our class, every student is expected to set weekly learning goals, so I share with them 2 or 3 learning statements that fit with our overall lesson plans. We do this goal setting either one-on-one or within the groups identified on the class view, and we keep returning to the learning statements as my students set new goals. I also use the Learning Continuum class view as a starting place for differentiating my instruction. I say starting place because I actually use many points of data and differentiate in many ways. But the Learning Continuum does help start the process. Here are the overall steps I take. First, I compare a lesson topic I'm about to teach with the Learning Continuum class view. Second, using the continuum of learning statements, I adjust my lesson for students who need more support, as well as those who are ready for more challenge. And third, as an option, I make further lesson adjustments by switching to the test view within the learning continuum. Let's say I'm preparing a lesson on perimeters. In the class view, I look for the area likely to contain that topic. In this case, it's under Geometric Measurement and Relationships. To narrow down the list, I click Display Options. By the way, in some cases I would not see these display options depending on which test I'm viewing. More information is available at the end of this training. In this case, I have the option to select my classroom grade level, which limits the statements shown to the grade level standards I'm teaching. And to make scanning easier, I often choose Group by Topic. With these display settings, the statements related to perimeter stand out. Now for the second step, adjusting my lesson. The topic of my lesson is most similar to these learning statements, but these students are performing below that level. Their learning statements indicate how they can progress toward the level I'm planning to teach. In particular, notice that this skill appears in these lower RIT bands, but stops appearing in the higher RIT bands. So that skill is a good place to adjust my lesson. And for students performing higher in the continuum, I see statements that begin in this RIT band, indicating what should come next in their learning. In fact, that leads me to the third step I typically do. Suppose the students in this higher RIT band are ready for even more. To see RIT bands beyond what appear in the class view, I switch to the test view. Back on the Learning Continuum landing page, I pick the same mathematics test under the Test View heading. In the Test View, RIT bands are from left to right, showing the progression of skills and concepts. Again, I'm interested in perimeter topics, so I can use the browser search command Ctrl+F. That leads me to these learning statements in the next higher RIT band. They appear here for the first time, indicating they are at the next level of instruction for those students in need of more challenge. And that's how I use the map data to meet my students' needs. When I'm setting goals with students, I share with them applicable learning statements. And when I'm preparing lessons, I compare the statements for students performing below and above the RIT band most similar to my planned lesson topic.